Hello, children. How are you? I hope you are fine. We have already studied the first lesson of geography. Do you remember the name of first lesson? Yes, local time and standard time. In that lesson, we have studied what is local time, standard time, international time, and Indian standard time. Children, now we are going to study the second lesson of geography. Name of the lesson is Interior of the Earth. What is Earth? You may say it is the planet on which we live. Yes, it is correct. But children, don't you think sometimes about our planet? Do you have any questions about it? Such as how was Earth formed? What must be in the interior of the Earth? Interior means what is inside the Earth. So, in this lesson, we are going to find out what is there in the interior of the earth. But before we start with the explanation of lesson, we need to recall a simple work done by us. Yes, children, only a simple activity we have to recall which we do on regular basis every day. Children, the activity which we have to think about or recall is boiling of milk. Have you seen any time boiling of milk? Before boiling, milk was in liquid state. After it came to a boil, steam started coming out from it. After some time, a thick layer of cream develops over the milk. The temperature of the cream is lesser than the milk below. Thus, it can be implied that the creamy layer cooled faster than the milk below it, which remained hot in a liquid form. A similar process occurred when the earth cooled down. So, what we have to observe? We have to see that when the milk cooled down, the upper layer of the milk cooled down faster, and the lower layer, that is, the bottommost part of the milk, was still hot. The same thing occurs with earth also. The topmost part may be looking in a semi solid or solid state, but inside the earth, many of the components are in liquid form also. Initially, Earth was a gaseous hot balloon, means the scientists have estimated that in the beginning the Earth was nothing but a balloon filled of hot gases. Next is it cooled down as it rotated around itself. Rotation, as the earth was moving round and round, it started cooling down. The process of cooling took place from the outer surface towards the earth's center. It means the outer layer of the earth. The blue and green color part which we can see is the crust of the earth. It has become cooler earlier, but the inside part of the earth is still in a semi-liquid or liquid form. Semi-liquid means a thick liquid which is not too watery nor thick like solid. See children, this is the outermost layer which is visible to us. This is the crust of the earth, the most outer part of the planet. We will go from the outermost layer to the inner layer. See children, this is the sequence you have to remember all through the lesson and every time. What is the first one? Crust, mantle, core. What are the three important parts of the interior? Crust, mantle, core. Would you repeat with me children? What are the three important parts? Crust, mantle, core. The crust comprises of two parts, oceanic crust and continental crust. Can you remember? Crust is made of oceanic crust, continental crust. And core also comprises of two parts, outer core, inner core. And mantle is also called as Asthenosphere. Okay? Asthenosphere is the second name of mantle. This is the image to clear your concept. See the brownmost upper part, that is the crust. The second one, mantle, then outer core and inner core. You have to remember this sequence, okay? Crust, mantle, outer core and inner core. Man has always been inquisitive about what lies in the interior of the earth. You must be thinking, how man came to know about all these things? So, the scientists have used various methods to know about what is there inside the earth. See, through various methods, the scientists have tried to estimate about the same. To infer about this, study of materials coming out of volcano eruption and the seismic waves is most important. Through the estimate of the study of temperature, density, gravitational force, and pressure, the interior of the earth was understood. Means the scientists used different methods to understand what is there inside the earth. Let's start with our concept, the crust. The uppermost layer of the earth's surface is in solid state and is called the crust. The thickness of the crust is not the same everywhere. It is 30 to 35 kilometer thick. The thickness of the crust below the continents is from 16 to 45 kilometers. 40 kilometers under the mountain ranges and less than 10 kilometers under the oceans. So, here what we have to understand, the thickness of the crust will change to different places. Continents means the land part. There the thickness is 16 to 45 kilometers. Under the mountain ranges means where there are mountains, there the thickness of crust will be 40 kilometers. And the area under the oceans, there the thickness of crust will be less than 10 kilometers. As we move deeper under the surface, temperature increases. At the center of the earth, the temperature is around 55,000 to 60,000 degrees Celsius. The crust is the thinnest of all the layers when compared to the mantle and the core. Means what it says, as we will go deeper and deeper, we will go down in the layers of the earth, the temperature, the heat will increase. And among all the layers of the earth, crust is the thinnest layer of the interior. Earth's crust is divided into two types, continental crust and oceanic crust. Continental crust. Continents. Have you heard the word continent sometime, children? Yes, many times. We know there are 7 continents on the earth. So, what is this continent? This continent is a large piece of land on the earth which is separated by water. Means a big piece of land is there, again too much of water, then again land. So, this big piece of land is called continent. So, as the name suggests, continental crust is the crust which is below the land part. Okay. The continents are mainly composed of silica, is the compound of silicon element and aluminium. Means the continental crust is made of which elements? Silica and aluminium. Can you remember, children? Silica and aluminium. Because of their high proportion in this layer, the layer was earlier known as Sial. Means the continental crust is also known as Sial. Si for silica and Al for aluminium. The density of continental crust is 2.65 to 2.90 grams per centimeter cube. And the thickness of this layer is approximately 30 kilometers. Granite rocks are mainly found in this layer. So children, What we have to remember? It is called as Cl, that is silica and aluminium. Density is 2.65 to 2.90. The thickness is 30 kilometers and granite rocks can be found in the continental crust. Next one is oceanic crust. As the name says, ocean. The crust which is below the oceanic layer of our earth. This is the second layer of the crust. It is made up of silica and magnesium. See, oceanic crust is made up of silica and magnesium. It was earlier called seema. This layer is approximately 7 to 10 kilometers thick. The density of this layer is 2.9 gram per centimeter cube to 3.3 gram per centimeter cube. In this layer, basalt and gabbro rocks are mainly found. So children, what we have to remember? Oceanic crust is called seema. Thickness is 7 to 10 kilometers. Density 2.9 to 3.3 and the layer has basalt and gabbro rocks. Okay, I hope you remember all the points which I have told. See children, again with the help of diagram, let's see the continental crust and oceanic crust. You can see the part below the water is the oceanic crust and the part below the land mass is the continental crust. The oceanic crust is thinner and the continental crust is thicker. So this basic difference you can get clear from this diagram. The next layer which we are going to see is the mantle. Below the crust lies the mantle. The mantle can be divided into two layers, upper mantle and lower mantle. The upper layer is more in liquid state. Here one finds magma chambers. It is through these chambers that magma comes out of the earth's surface during volcanic eruptions. Have you seen any volcanic eruptions, children? Volcanoes are erupting and from that hot liquid fire is coming. That is called as magma. So most of the upper layer of mantle is having this magma. Okay, so what we have to remember about mantle? There are two layers, upper layer and lower layer, and most of the upper layer is having magma. This layer is also known as asthenosphere. Mantle begins at a depth of 2400 to 2900 km with a temperature of around 2200 degrees Celsius to 2500 degrees Celsius. The internal energy released due to endogenetic movements occurring in this layer is responsible for mountain building and volcanic eruptions. So what we have to remember about this? Mantle is also known as asthenosphere and the depth of mantle is 2400 to 2900 kilometers. The temperature is almost 2200 degrees Celsius to 2500 degrees Celsius. See children, this is a big temperature. Too much heat is generated and because of this heat, mountain buildings and volcano eruptions are mostly taking place in this part of the earth. Okay, so if someone asks you because of which layer the volcanic eruptions are taking place, so what will be your answer? Your answer will be mantle. Children, keep this picture well in mind. See, this is the clear concept of your interior of the earth. The first thinnest part is our crust. Second is the mantle. The third one is the outer core. And last, the circle part, that is our inner core. I hope this diagram will make you more easy to remember the interior parts of our earth. Core. The core starts from around the depth of about 2900 km from the earth's surface. the part of the Earth's interior extending from the mantle up to the center of the Earth is core. The thickness of the core is about 3471 km. This layer can be divided into outer core and inner core. So what is important? What is the depth of core? Starting from 2900 kilometers. And this core is divided into how many parts? Inner core, outer core. And last you have to remember the thickness, that is 3471 kilometers. Outer core. Outer core extends from around 2900 to 5100 kilometers. The secondary waves cannot pass through it. They get absorbed in this region. This has led the scientists to believe that the core could be liquid or semi-liquid in nature. The primary waves travel through this layer, but their speed reduces when passing through this layer. The density of the outer core is 9.8 grams per centimeter cube. The temperature of the liquid of outer core is around 5000 degree Celsius. So children, what is here? What we have to remember about outer core? We have to remember 2900 to 5001 kilometer is the depth of outer core. From this outer core, primary waves can pass, but secondary waves cannot pass. So scientists feel that this layer must be liquid or semi-liquid in nature. And what is the density? 9.8 grams centimeter cube, and temperature is of 5000 degree Celsius. Inner core. Inner core extends from around 5150 kilometers to the depth of around 6371 kilometers, that is Earth's center. It is the core of the Earth which is in a solid state. So children, in which state is the core of our Earth? It is in solid state. The density of this sphere is around 13.3 gram per centimeter cube. Iron and nickel are the major elements found here. So children, what we have to remember? What is the depth? 5150 kilometers to 6371 kilometers. And what is the density? 13.3 gram per centimeter cube. And the elements found here are iron and nickel. That's all for our inner core. Earth's magnetosphere. Magnetic field of the Earth is functional even outside the Earth's surface for a quite distance. Means we all know that Earth is having a magnetic field. So outside the Earth also this magnetic field is working someplace. So as a result, a cover develops around the Earth because of the magnetic field. The Earth's atmosphere is protected from the solar winds coming from the sun. So what it means, children, that this magnetic field is working as a cover, working as a protection to the Earth from the solar winds coming from the sun. We know that sun is having lot of temperature. So the solar winds coming from sun are not directly coming to the Earth because of this magnetosphere. The magnetic field thus developed around the Earth is called the magnetosphere. So children, I hope you all must have understood what I am. Okay children, this was all about our second lesson, interior of the Earth. I hope you all have understood this lesson, and I give you an activity, that is you have to draw the diagram of interior of the Earth. I hope you will do the activity very nicely. Thank you.